Christ's letters. Continuation of letter number 7. Therefore, when deliberately setting out on a spiritual journey, you should visualize yourself as being like a traveler boarding a train bound for the destination of your choice. If, when traveling, you leap out of the window on glimpsing verdant valleys or exciting cities offering pleasures of some sort, and go wandering into highways and byways far removed from the journey you had originally undertaken, you will find it very difficult to resume that original journey. First of all, you will have to go through a cleansing of the lower consciousness energies you absorbed during your jaunts into other areas of interest. This may take a long time, and you may have to go through other painful experiences to enable you to go through the necessary cleansing of your consciousness again. Everything you do in life, you are either moving forward spiritually or moving into areas of consciousness detrimental to your search and long-term journey towards higher levels of spiritual consciousness. You never escape the processes of consciousness, nor from the inexorable working of the laws of existence. You cannot put your life on hold as you dance off to have a little fling, which you think won't matter since no one will know. Whatever you do is an action in consciousness, and whatever it is, promotional of your well-being or contrary to your highest good, will have its repercussions of a like nature. Everything in your life is related to some other activity in consciousness. Nothing is isolated from everything else. People think that what they do today is in a compartment. They think that today becomes yesterday and is past. It can have no bearing on their today. But, unfortunately for them, they will find it cropping up in their experience as reaping time in 6 months, a year, or even 10 years ahead, when the consciousness energies have attracted what is necessary to bring about their visible manifestation. Then people wonder, why did this happen to me? Why me? You must understand that when you embark on a spiritual journey, you have set foot to a path which will lift your consciousness vibrations to higher levels. Carelessness and inconsistency will lead you into a condition of swinging between levels of vibrationary frequencies. These times of inconsistency are fraught with emotional pain. As you swing, the original momentum of spiritual energy, which previously lifted your spiritual vision, dies away, and eventually you complain it is hard to get back to prayer and meditation. It is difficult to make the contact with divine consciousness that you were able to make before you went off on some pleasurable jaunt which led to a dropping of your consciousness frequencies. In this way, by giving in to overpowering impulses, you make life difficult for yourself. You walk a more rocky path. At the same time, the impulses within your consciousness indicate that certain areas of your human consciousness need refining. The impulses become the necessary means to teach you some important lesson. In fact, no one can move on to the narrow path leading to the kingdom of heaven and remain there without divergence or deviation until they have thoroughly experienced the fruits of their hidden impulses. By fully experiencing all they have to offer, People eventually arrive at a clear understanding that they were false enticements, not worth the pain and tremendous effort involved in getting back on the spiritual path again. Only when the deeply ingrained impulses have been indulged and the results imprinted in the consciousness can a deliberate mental and emotional choice be made to live life on a higher spiritual level. When this final decision is made decisively and positively, the former impulses are then erased from the consciousness. But I have to tell you that when you do make the choice to live your life on a higher spiritual level, you have not necessarily come to the end of your problems. In ignorance of what is real and false in higher spirituality, you may find yourself attracted to different cults which will lead you further into a wilderness without ending. I, the Christ, have come through the medium of these letters to show you how to choose the highest goals in your human existence and your true final destination on your earthly train journey. In your spiritual quests, you are like people being presented with many beautifully colored travel brochures depicting the pleasures and luxuries of various exotic holiday resorts where you can relax and renew your strength. One spiritual teacher holds up the enticement of a journey leading to a specific goal, the resolution of some mental, emotional problem, whilst another teacher offers another goal and another path to follow. Each of these spiritual teachers are offering alleviation of some kind of human pain and suffering which they themselves have experienced in the past and overcome. Each one has eventually found relief in their own unique way. There is no doubt that they all have some valuable message of one kind or another to share with people who are bewildered by the problems of living and do not know which way to turn for help and comfort in their difficult existence. But I have come to you from the highest vantage point of spiritual, universal existence through the medium of a mind carefully cleansed and impregnated with a spiritual life and dedicated to the work to carry this message to people who are ready to receive it. I have come to you to show you who you really are in the deepest recesses of your individuality and who and what you can become. Just as importantly, I have come to show you the means by which the transition from the human consciousness to the higher realms of spiritual consciousness may be achieved. When I was on earth, I said, I am the way, I am the truth, the way, and the life. And so I was, and am. In these letters, I am giving you the truth. I am showing you the way to achieve abundant life. Number 4. Your true source of life and being. It is weakening to the soul to need another agent as a spiritual crutch. Therefore, to depend even on myself must be recognized as a temporary measure. For this reason, I am making every effort through my recorder to enable you to realize that your true support, mainstay, source of life and being are drawn directly from the all-powerful dimension of universal consciousness in equilibrium. I have come to you, you who are reading this letter, to help you find life more abundant and what I termed when on earth the kingdom of heaven. What did this statement mean in human terms? What did I mean when I said life more abundant? It is easier for me to describe my meaning to yourselves in 2001 than it was to spell it out clearly to the people in AD 1, but I know that for many people whose inner spiritual perceptions have not yet been opened, what I am about to say will be deemed fantastical. Number 5. Truth of your physicality. Therefore, to help you understand, I must remind you and ask you to fully realize that you are not bodies possessing consciousness. You are divine consciousness individualized into separate consciousness beings and made visible on your earth by means of electrical particles drawn and bonded together into elements to give you visible living form according to a fundamental physical pattern. To understand the truth of existence and the origins of your physicality, you must make daily efforts to rid yourselves of the limited earthly perception that the body receives its beingness and is conceived and developed entirely and only according to unchangeable physical scientific laws. In place of your old limited human beliefs, you must make daily efforts to develop a strong, clear realization that your personal reality, your soul, is drawn directly from all reality, source of being. Your physical body also draws life from all reality at the moment of conception, but it is also tempered by the initial plane of consciousness vibrational frequencies out of which your body was conceived. It is constricted and encapsulated ever more strongly as the years pass by the magnetic emotional bonding rejection impulses which control the human consciousness. What do I mean by that? What I am going to tell you has enormous implications for the future of mankind. That is, if those of you who are capable of doing so will make every effort to understand it. In fact, the way you view these letters will determine the course of your future lives. They will mean to you the difference between remaining stuck in your present parameter of consciousness vibrational frequencies or gradually moving forward yourself to higher levels of consciousness and producing children who will benefit from the exercise of the knowledge I am about to give you. When I was on earth, I made the oft-repeated but never understood statement. What is born of the flesh is flesh, and of the spirit is spirit. I meant that some people have a natural spiritual ability to return to the original frequency of spiritual emotional consciousness in which they were conceived, and in later years can be reborn, take on new spiritual mental awareness in the same spiritual frequency of vibration of conception, and thereafter live and evolve and work from it. The original frequency of spiritual emotional consciousness of conception will become the platform for the child's spiritual journey. Those conceived only of fleshly lustful desires find it difficult to perceive any truth beyond the evidence of their ears, eyes, touch, and smell. If you doubt the foregoing, pause and reflect on the undeviating principle of existence. All creation is consciousness made visible. This is it for today. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye.